I'll say this plainly, I've said it before. Taxation is theft. It presumes that the government has a higher claim on our property than we do.
Why we're opposed to taxation. The first reason is a moral reason. We believe taxation is immoral. We believe that every individual has a right to his own life and therefore a right to the fruits of his labor, a right to his property, and that it is morally wrong to take somebody's property against their will. And that is what taxation is. Taxation is a legalized form of robbery.
All forms of taxation, I don't care what they are, excise tax, property tax, gift tax, inheritance tax, income tax, I don't care what form it is, taxes on corporations even, okay? All forms of taxation are always wrong according to natural law because they are all based in the destruction of free will, they are based on coercion, and they are ultimately based upon violence, all of which are wrongdoings, all of which are forms of theft. You don't give me what I say, I'm holding you under extortion. That's duress. That's called duress. It means I am threatening violence unto the person unless they conform to my will. And that's what we're all held under. We're held under duress. All forms of taxation are duress.
And the other is, and I'll begin with the other, the morality of taxation. It's a very difficult moral subject, and that's always been my preoccupation, moral subjects. Think about it for a moment. You earn money honorably and legally, you work very hard for it, and then people tell you, you will give half of it away, and if you don't, we will arrest you. We will take you we will send police, they will physically remove you from your home, and you will go to prison. Now, under any circumstance other than the word tax, you would consider that to be immoral. You would consider that to be, in fact, robbery, thievery. Give me half your money, or I will kidnap you. That's exactly what taxation is. I'm in that bracket because of the combination of federal taxes and California, which I think is the highest in the country, taxes as well. And people don't think that way. So for those who say, well, it's not thievery because people voted. In a democracy, people voted to tax you. So I don't quite understand. If people vote to rob me, why is that less robbery than if they don't vote to rob me? Especially considering that half the people voting to take that money from me don't pay anything, or don't pay any federal income tax, to be very precise.
Representative, I believe in the notion of personal responsibility. I believe that taxation is theft.
I did actually, to quote the great American philosopher Murray Rothbard here, that the state is an institution of theft writ large. Tax is just about a system where politicians and bureaucrats steal money from their citizens to squander in the most disgraceful manner.
Said the government, they have nothing, everything they get and they want to give to someone else, they have to steal it from somebody. That's called taxation. Is taxation theft in your mind?
Yes, it is. It has to steal from a productive individual and give it to somebody else. So
it is theft. I just want to understand this. I mean, as we've had lots of conversations in the past. I always enjoy them. But I just want folks to understand your notion that taxation that is there to pay for things such as national defense or environmental cleanups or FEMA, that is theft in your view.
When you take the income from other people, it is. The founders didn't believe it, and it was not an income tax. That's a rather recent event. It's not even 100 years old, and it hasn't served us well. All it has done is give us a government out of control, a warmongering government that has an entitlement system that there's no way they're going to pay for it. So it's all based on an immoral principle that government takes. They can't produce anything. They have to take it from somebody else, and that's immoral.
This is where the system begins to rob you and I on a massive scale. Much of our taxes are not used for schools, roads, and public services, but to pay interest on bonds that the Federal Reserve bought with a check drawn on an account that has nothing in it. The Federal Reserve is committing fraud. But here's one of the biggest secrets of them all. Before the establishment of the Federal Reserve, there was no need for personal income tax. The Federal Reserve was created in 1913, and that very same year, the Constitution was amended to allow income tax. Do you really think this was just a coincidence? Ask yourself how much income tax you've paid over your lifetime. Much of it has been silently siphoned away into the hands of those who own the system.